Welcome back to Borderlands 2. This is part number 3. Today we're going to go through this story as quickly as possible. We'll probably get a good handful of missions out of the way, and we're also going to do the Ninja Turtles Easter egg as well, where you run into all 4 of them and Master Splinter, which is pretty cool. So, as we get farther in, we will do that, but for now, we got a whole bunch of problems on our hands. The Bloodshot Stronghold is probably my least favorite place in all of Borderlands 2. I'm going to do my best to just fly through this because there's so many enemies, so many strong tanky enemies, nomads, ugh. This place is just an absolute nightmare, you know. I went and did some side questing as well to level up, which I think is a great idea. Always do your side quests because then you get to explore and, then you're not going back for those achievements where it's discover all the areas and wherever, blah, 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 whatever, right? And it's a pain to figure that out, so doing the side quests kind of helps you prevent that from happening as you go, and more XP, of course, is good. But anyways, the level I'm at is good enough for now, so if I can get back up, please, that would be great. No way. Okay, I was going to say, that would be some BS right there. I'm glad. I'm just going to keep on running past. This is, yeah, I hate this place with a passion. I just want it out of the way so we can continue on, and we're almost a high enough level where we can start the DLCs as well, which is pretty cool. You know, I gotta say, when it comes to cooking, I got a portion problem. I always make way too much, especially when it comes to soup or chili. Oh, I'm just the worst. I love chili. Oh my goodness. For me, you know what I put in there? You know, some people might not like this, but I just go with kidney beans, baked beans, right? A couple cans of those, some maple beans, maybe some black beans, you know, just the typical stuff. And then I'll grab a can or two of a mixed random chili of, you know, whatever kind, chunky or whatever. And then I'll throw in some veggies. So what I personally like is peas, corn, carrots, and then also broccoli, which is, oh, it's so good in chili. If you don't put broccoli in your chili, you gotta. And celery as well, and oh, it is so good. Even some cauliflower, oh, you got a great, hearty, healthy, fiber-filled chili, full of protein, good bit of sugar from the beans, but overall, fantastic chili. And then, of course, whatever seasonings you use, right? Whatever packets or your 20 seasonings of choice, whatever the case may be. If you're a spicy person or not, maybe you use different sauce. But anyways, I just use one of those pre-made chili seasoning packages, and then I season it my own way and, you know, season the meat when it's cooking and all that fun stuff, right? But anyways, I made a whole bunch of potato bacon soup, and I have 8 Tupperwares of potato bacon, the big ones that would hold say 4 lunch portions. Oh man, I got so much I'm gonna have to freeze it, which is great. It's a great problem to have. And with the potato bacon soup, you know, it's, you know, cut up potatoes and bacon, obviously, kind of in the name. It's good when you get maple smoked bacon. It makes the soup that much better. And also, I also put in celery and broccoli, peas, corns, carrots. You know, that's just kind of a staple for me, those veggies, in anything, you know, a stir fry, if I were to use chicken breast or whatever. Those are kind of my go-to veg, you know. Unless I'm making wonton soup, then bok choy, oh, gotta have that. And green onion, don't get me wrong, I would put that on everything. Green onion, oh, I want to grow it in my backyard now that we have one. So, for any of you gardeners out there, leave me some advice, some tips, you know. I don't know nothing about farming, you know. I really gotta educate myself in case the worst happens, and that information, you know, I never had anybody to teach me. So, you know, if you know anything, please let me know. Basically, in summertime, I would like to grow potatoes, maybe onions, green onions, celery, broccoli. You know, maybe that'd be about it. I would say, you know, berries I would like to do, but from my understanding, raspberries, they're very invasive and they just kind of spread and spread and spread. To which, you know, it's kind of smart. Where I am, you can buy a plot of land, 2 acres, right? And it's 10 grand, 15, maybe 20. 2 acres, that's a lot of space. If you were to just grow a ton of raspberries or something there and just admittedly they take a while to grow, but once they grow and they're producing, buddy, you got yourself. You know how expensive jam is, let alone berries in the grocery store nowadays? Little tiny thing of raspberries, $5, $6. Do you know how much money you could make? If I win the lottery, I'm making berries, I'm selling them, I'm making wine. Oh, that's what I would do.
Vault Hunter. Good to finally meet you in person. Hell of a job fighting through those bloodshots. This'll just take a second.
Well, nice to meet you, sir. It's a shame you're gonna be ripped away, you know? Kind of messed up. The first part of the game, and you got a black guy in a cage, and he gets snatched away by his, you know, the people that want to take him. You know, I don't want to say owner, but anyways, kind of messed up in my opinion, kind of, you know. Anyways, who cares? Handsome Jack here, back with another video. Remember, you guys ever watch, I think it was Skippy22 about LA Beast here, and today we're gonna... You ever watch the LA Beast? That guy's crazy. I'm not sure what he's up to nowadays. I haven't watched him a whole lot recently, but over the years, oh, that guy's so funny. Like, he took, like, friggin' those glow-in-the-dark, like, glow sticks, right? You snap them and they glow green, yellow, purple, whatever colors inside the chemicals, right? This guy, he even tried to, like, strain out the glass shards, and he decides to snort them and try to blow it out his eyes, that he cries, like, neon tears. And it just doesn't go well. It just ends up burning. It ends up everywhere. He's growling like a monster. It's really funny. Speaking of, when he he sticks his hand into a bucket of icy hot, or like I don't know what it's some sort of like chemical mixture. Anyways, if you mess it up, it's like sticking your hand on a hot iron, like right on the hot burner on high, like immediate torch sensation. And this guy embraced it around his hand for a few seconds, and the screeches he let loose, I don't blame him for. I'm sure I would do the exact same thing. Point is, that guy's crazy, and don't do it because you'll regret it real quick, and I'm sure I would too. But yeah, props to LA Beast, man. He's crazy. Check him out if you haven't heard of him. You know, I don't exactly recall what Lilith was doing. Why isn't she here helping us? Was she off, like, doing some other sort of leadership or, you know, important task? Like, what could be more important than saving, like, one of the founders of the Crimson Raiders, if not the founder? I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore, but like, he's the leader, right? So why wouldn't this be like VIP, like full storm, like all the Crimson Raiders, whoever they may be? Maybe at this point we don't have anyone. I don't know. I'm just playing, man. Point is, I feel like this is pretty high priority, and just sending one Vault Hunter is pretty, you know, pretty subpar. So I think they could do some work with their strategic planning there, you know, maybe put some assets somewhere else. But hey, you know what? I'm here to have fun, and I'm going to do so. I'm also going to do my best to skip through here like the Bloodshot Stronghold. This part's just so annoying. Loader after loader. Like, it's not that hard. It's pretty chill. But I personally don't really have a corrosive weapon. I haven't really come across one, so I'm kind of SOL there, which means, you know, Schneik's out of luck pretty much. You know, Joka Schmoint. Anyways, I would love to do that, but I got my Benjamin, and that's all right. That will do. I also got some Twisted Teas, you know. I've heard some people call them tweez, you know? We're gonna get tweez. It just sounds really cringy, you know? They're Twisted Teas, you know, they're good. They're tasty, you know? They're a chill little cooler. Like, normally myself, I like to drink beer, you know? Or like rum and coke is pretty average, pretty chill. Burt Reynolds shots too, by the way, absolutely delicious. If you're ever at a bar, ask for a Burt Reynolds. They're so tasty. The schnapps just really makes it that good. Very simple drink, but yet very savory drink as well. Also, if you're not really a rum person, try Kraken. Now, Kraken is the bottle that you see that has the black rum in it. I believe Kraken's like 47.5 or 48.5. People swear that it's 50, but I know I've bought it and it's been like 47.5. Regardless, very strong alcohol. Do not underestimate Kraken, because if you drink too much like I did, you know that it comes up the exact same color. It comes up black. It looks like you have alcohol poisoning immediately. But not to panic if it's Kranik. Oh, wow, I really butchered that. I was going to say not to panic if it's Kraken, it's organic, you know? What a slogan that would be. But I don't know if Kraken is made from organic materials, so I don't know. Maybe that pitch is right out the window and I'd be thrown out of the chair, just like that Robots movie where that Ratchet guy's in charge, you know? Upgrades, people, upgrades. If you don't know where that's from, I'm sorry. Please go watch the Robots movie that came out in the early 2000s. Main guy's name is Ronnie. Childhood show, but you know what? If you got kids, make them watch it. That's what I've been doing. Like, you know, I got kids myself, right? It's like I've just been, you know, rewatching movies, and especially with Disney Plus and stuff now, you know, they got all the classics on there. It's awesome being able to like rewatch them myself, to not necessarily relive, but just to re-enjoy, you know, be back in the moment, and then also be able to spread that joy to them as well. So it's a bonus, you know, it's pretty cool of them. Personally, I want to hunt down like all the VHSs, like those early 2000s, or, you know, prior to that, obviously, I suppose. If you don't know what a VHS is, it's basically like a rectangular plastic piece that has tape in it, and you could rewind and forward the tape. You could spin the little dials on it. Anyways, past technology, but I would still use it today without a doubt in my mind. It was always reliable. It never let me down. I never had any issues. Just like I watched that Rugrats movie, like the one that was orange, you know, came once you popped open the little plastic case, it was the orange one. I watched that 1,000 times easy, and that thing was in mint condition, you know. Oh, I gotta find those. Honestly, going to like thrift shops, your local little like, little, like in town, for example, there's like places with food banks, but they also do like, you can donate stuff and you can like buy the stuff, right, to help the charity. Those are excellent places to check for that stuff and or make money using the Amazon method, you know, buying stuff there and reselling it. You know, how well it will work for you, I don't know, but just put it out there. You never know until you try, right?
Meet me back at Sanctuary.
You know, I don't remember. If you jump down here, you get a weapon or something, right? If you sacrifice yourself? I don't recall. I think like Handsome Jack coaxes you into it or something like that. Or is that in the pre-sequel where you like jump to your death into lava or something like that? I don't remember. But either way, I think if I had jumped in, you do get a weapon, but that's alright. I don't want to lose the cash because it's, you know, we're poor, we're hurting. Bills are gone up, price of living gone up, carbon tax, you know. Also, I gotta say, all you guys complaining about groceries, I really want to pick your brain and know what you're buying, because I can go spend like $150 for a family of 4 and I can get a lot of stuff. You don't need to constantly have name brand stuff in your $5 bag of chips and a case of pop, alright, sweetheart? You don't. I need one thing. I need one snack. No, you don't. You have your priorities in the wrong place, and that's what the problem is. Buy name brand ramen. Name brand snacks. Look at the flyers. Take the time to go through and compare. Go to different places. Like, I've been debating on uploading videos on TikTok and YouTube because it drives me absolutely nuts. The amount of times that I've gone to Superstore and or Walmart, spent between $100 and like $200 and gotten a solid haul. Very, very solid haul. And before you're like, oh, I don't have $100 or $200. I only have 50. Well, okay. I've went and spent 65 and also gotten a crap ton. I'm sure I could have made that a lot better. Having that said, you just gotta be a little smarter about it. Don't be as impulsive. Take more time in your decision-making process. Compare prices and buy accordingly, and you will save yourself so much money. Like, example, you buy a bag of, like, ketchup or all-dressed chips that are, what, Lay's brand or Ruffles. You're paying like $5, $6, $7 for a bag of chips. Or you go to Superstore and you get the no name and you can get them for like 65 to 97 cents, especially when there's a sale. Otherwise they're like $1.47 or something. Either way, huge difference. And you still get to have a nice savory snack for like a quarter of the price. Even if it's $2 a bag, it's still so much cheaper. You don't need anything, you just want. So what you need to do is want to get your priorities straight so you can spend your money appropriately, because let's be honest, I'm not perfect. I mess up my money all the time. I'm reckless. I spend my money on stupid things that I shouldn't, and we all do that, you know? Even if I had $40 in my bank account, you bet your butt I'd be going to Subway. I'd be going to Five Guys, you know? Like, I'm not perfect. I'm just saying, sometimes it takes a little more discipline, and I lack that sometimes myself, and that's just the way it is, you know? So don't take anything I said, don't get angry at me. You know, it's just my thoughts. Of course, I probably have a lot more to say about it, but not going to get more into it. So anyways, here we are, continuing through Borderlands 2, staying on topic, I suppose. Oh, hey, anything in the crapper? Oh, lame. Lame, lame, lame. Also, the lab rats here, absolute pain before we get to the Easter egg here. But once out of the way, at least we get to see it, deliver the pizza to the boys here. And then once we do bring them the pizza, you also have the option of eating it, which is kind of funny. You can eat them on them, which is kind of funny, you know. And what I mean by that is, you know, just kill them and eat it, and then, you know, nobody gets it but you know, you delivered it and you ate it. Question is, did they pay, and did we get the tip, though? Because if not, you know, we could always loot the bodies anyways and get our tip, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if you're a pizza delivery guy, those tips, they, you know, you need those, you know, they really help. Honestly, you know, they're not expected, or at least I don't think they should be. But it also kind of depends. Like, if the pizza company's paying you garbage, you know, then it kind of has to be. It's a double-edged sword, right? There's two sides to everything, so yeah. Anyways, I never had to do it myself. I had a few buddies who did, said it was a pretty alright job. Said there was a couple of times they were driving into real sketchy places, you know. Almost ended up like that 30 Minutes or Less movie. That would be a pain for sure, you know. Suicide vest strapped to you, not fun, not a good time for anyone, I would say. Also, real talk, this rocket launcher, definitely a lifesaver, doing some major damage here, which is kind of crazy, you know. I haven't found like a pretty decent sniper yet, to be honest. And mind you, I haven't bothered to like go out of my way to find one or farm one or anything, but you know, I'm only one person, what can I do? I'm just taking it one step at a time. So hey, now we get to go down and deliver the pizza to the boys and then demonstrate the power of this rocket. I should be able to just one-shot each of them, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of unfortunate and cheesy. Haha, get it, like pizza, cheese pizza, but hey, what can you do? So here's number 1, Lee. Where's number 2? Where you at, boy? You know, I think I'm just going to follow through with this, because once we have Boar, then that makes the bunker so much easier. Oh, there's another one down. Yeah, one shot for sure. I wonder, I should check what mission level this mission is, because, yeah, like, Ralph, there you go, buddy. Like, instant death. You know, maybe it's just the rocket launcher, but it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. And I must say, I also love that it's a Tediore, because then you can throw it, right? So you basically have 4 rockets to go. Until you run out of ammo, then you can't throw the last one, but that's alright. I think, you know, it's kind of weird like that, but whatever, that's alright. So now, like I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and eat this pizza. Otherwise, it's gonna go to waste, you know? Who else in the sewers? Maybe, you know, some of the bandits or something smell it, you know, get a little hungry. God knows when's the last time they ate, or what the last thing they ate was. Probably some skag burgers. You know, I wonder if it tastes any good. I've never had, like, wild game before. Like, I guess I've had deer burgers, you know? But I've never had anything that's been, like, super gamey. Like, the deer burgers, they were small, admittedly. They were probably, like, this size of probably like half of, like, if you were to shrink down a McDouble size, like take off like maybe a 1/4 inch, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch of the perimeter. They were real small burgers, but they had little deer patties on them, you know. They were cute little burgers. Anyways, really good, really tasty. I really enjoyed the taste. But you know what, I really want to try like moose and like bison. Oh, ground bison. Like, I never see it at the grocery stores. I feel like I'd have to go to like a butcher shop where I am to find that. And having that said, I can only imagine the price tag. Like, is it comparable? Like, when you go to the grocery store and I go buy my pork chops and ground beef and steak and, you know, tubes of this and that and kebabs. If I were to just go to the butcher and get, like, a bunch of deer meat, like, would that be around the same cost, do you think? Or would it be, like, way more? Like, I wonder. I should really look into that, because, like, I'd rather eat the wild game and get used to it personally, especially with the way the world's going. You know, I'd like to learn how to do all that, you know? Hunt it, track it, understand it, respect it, and then harvest it accordingly and properly, assuring no waste, you know? Just to be able to have that skill set. Like, I never had anyone to teach me, but personally, I'd like to learn so I could pass that knowledge on myself.
So loud. So angry. So dead.
I like how cryptic and mysterious and, like, morbid Mordecai is, you know? Buddy's just down in the dumps, and it's only gonna get worse from here. Poor guy's already got a drinking problem. Given what comes up, you know, not gonna say any spoilers, Buddy, you know, I'm surprised he didn't fall off the deep end and have some sort of, you know, crazy spiral, because, you know, I would. But hey, what can you do, you know? To each their own. Everyone's got their own brain, independent strength and whatnot, that mental health. But hey, we're about to meet the most favorite character of my choice in the Borderlands series. You know, we're going to meet Miss Tiny Tina, which is pretty great, you know? We get to go and meet her, and then we get to blow up a big bridge and have a boss fight and stuff. So we got quite a story coming up right ahead. We got a bit of work to do. Now, I'm really glad that I noticed that, like, fire flower stuff on the side. I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to ignite them. I thought I was just going to keep one-shotting them. I was genuinely concerned for a second there. I had a level 4, like, Flint's, whatever Flint's little weapon is. Anyways, Flint's tinderbox, right? Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, I had one, but I got rid of it, trashed it, you know, figured I won't need it no more. But hey, anyways, here we are about to enter. I can't talk anymore. Today's been a long day. So much cleaning and doing this in between, and, you know, chores, running around. Oh, it's been a busy day anyways, a good productive day. But here is Tiny Tina.
Down the stag, plant, the stalker chased the bandit. The stalker thought 'twas all in fun. Hop! Goes the bandit. Oh, hi. Rowan told me you were coming. I still owe him for all that butt crap with General Rancid. So you gotta hijack a train, huh? Child's play. Let me introduce you to my ladies. Running, I'm running over here. Run.
So hot take about Tiny Tina. You know the game like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, right? Basically just combat arena simulator, rinse and repeat, go to spot, fight wave of enemies, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. You know, nothing really crazy or unique about it, to be honest. Being able to explore the board and stuff is super cool, and I do like that aspect, and I do want to finish it. I just keep getting sick of it every time I go to play, you know? I think I've only gotten to like level 20 or something like that. It's just really not pulling me in like the other Borderlands games have. But hopefully it has for you, you know. I will go in and finish it and probably upload it eventually, but I'm definitely going to do the other Borderlands games first, you know, just because the nostalgia, like, oh, replaying the pre-sequel and even the first Borderlands, you know, I bought that remastered Game of the Year edition. So like all the DLCs and it's remastered 4K, it looks really clean, it plays really clean too, plays really good. I'm just sad it doesn't like, I couldn't transfer my character unfortunately. But that's alright, what can you do? I'm sure you can, maybe I was just being dumb about it. I had like a max level character with modded shields that could drop infinite, like legendary shields worth 9999999. And these shields also had infinite capacity, so basically you could just blast through Borderlands 1 with no, you know, nothing in your way. I had a few modded weapons as well. I had a modded sniper, pistol, and shotgun, and they all one-shot anything you came across. So you could just blast through it on, you know, normal mode, true Vault Hunter, ultimate Vault Hunter, whatever, DLC, raid boss. Whatever the case is, it was pretty simple, pretty gravy. Now, mind you, I did that after my first legit playthrough. Like, back in the day, playing Borderlands 1 online, there was such an active community and so many modders, too. Like, you could join lobbies, people be dropping weapons and monies and shields. Like, oh, the classic Borderlands days, you know? Or, like, when Borderlands 2 came out. Absolutely swamped YouTube of all its content, COD and everything. Like, Borderlands 2 just took over, like, oh, like... Nothing better than a group of guys celebrating getting their first conference call or flacker and going to Terra Morpheus with the conference call and just shredding them. You know, getting those cool shams from the bunker, whatever, or what is it, the right sizing bitch or something like that is the name of the SMG. So it's the name of a gun, you know, I'm not in the wrong for saying it. Anyways, point is, absolutely fantastic. Love this series and I'm really glad that I'm playing it. It's fun to relive it again. I'm having a great time and I hope you are too. I like that these guys are just like, oh yeah, we're just chilling, you know, maybe they didn't hear it disappear, but if they saw it, you know, there's like, oh, well, I guess, you know, the Matrix glitched out. You ever seen any Matrix glitches in real life? You know, I don't think I have, but as a kid, I have this one fond memory of like a UFO above a Walmart, I swear, but, you know, I don't remember it clear enough, so who knows. No, I gotta say, once you move out at 18, 19, and you're on your own throughout your 20s, like, you really learn a lot. Like, I spent probably like a year, about a year and a half, 2 years. Basically, I worked for a security company at the time, you know, thought I was a tough guy. No, I was a scrawny little, you know, I was nothing. Having that said, I was never cocky or stupid about it or anything, you know. I was never like, well, I'm better than you or above the law, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, wasn't corrupt or dumb, you know. I was just doing my job, right? Anyways, point is, I worked a 4-on, 4-off schedule. I worked nights, right? So I would work 4 days on, 4 days off, 12 hours a day. I would work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., you know, night shift, right? I'd get there at like 6:30, do the debrief, you know, switch out with the partner, let them go home early, that kind of thing. And then after that, you know, I'd have my 12 hours of excitement, whether it was craziness or cameras or, you know, whatever the night held, you know, some funny stories for sure, which I have shared before in earlier videos. I have a good handful more to share, that's for sure. But having that said, anyways, you know, it was a solid gig, you know, given I was working 4 12-hour shifts, you know, usually for the most part, unless it kind of rotated over weekends, you know, then it kind of messed up the pay periods and stuff. But I was working 12 hours a day, right? 4 on, 4 off every single month, and I was making $16.50 an hour, 16.50. Now, at the time, that was one of the highest paying sites, if not the highest paying site. How much you get paid with security with the company I was with anyways, depended on what site you were on, you know, based on how much money in their contract is, right? Depends on how much they can give you, right? So it only makes sense. It's only fair, right? So anyways, you know, I was making some decent cash. I had my own apartment. You know, I was able to finance my own car. I had a, 2015 Lancer, and my payments were only like $140 bi-weekly. But I got absolutely melted and destroyed by insurance because of the bigger city I lived in, and because of my young age, given the province I'm in, which if I was in a different province, my insurance would have been like $150 a month, okay? But I upgraded my car like a stupid and got a newer year Lancer that had a nice wrap job on it, low profile rims, tires, was all decked out and everything, and ended up spending like 40,000 I think on a rally yard, something like that, just because they didn't have Evos at the time. You know, they're more of a limited thing, hard to come by. So I was like, oh, I'll settle for a rally yard. You know, I checked all the Mitsus everywhere, dealerships in my area. What can you do, right? So anyways, $40,000 in debt later, car payment goes from 140 bi-weekly to 222 bi-weekly, okay? So I'm paying $444 a month on this car. I'm paying $521 for insurance. 500, buddy. That's half my rent. My rent was $1,000 even. Like, between the gas and my vehicle, you know, I ended up having to ride the train to work. Like, I would drive to the train station and then I would train to work because it was cheaper than paying in the parkades. Like, man, you'd be paying like $20 a night. Like, where I lived sometimes, you know, there'd be events or concerts or hockey games, and like, if there was, then it just shot the prices right up to like $20 just for you to be able to stay there and park there overnight, where it was usually like $5, $6, $7, $8, you know. So going and getting like a $5, $6, $7 train pass, you know, basically guaranteed that it wasn't going to be expensive. The only downside to that was coming back in the morning and having the command start my car and hope that it would connect from a certain distance on the train. Otherwise, my car was quite icy and quite cold. And knowing these Canadian weathers, you know, the winters, minus 40, it's really not a fun time. You know, winter here, like minus 20 is not bad, like minus 20 Celsius, like, you just kind of get used to it, right? You acclimate. It's part of being human, right? Biology, one of the things of being a sentient being able to adapt to your environment, right? So anyways, yeah, just, you know, it gets to the point where you wake up in camp and you're like, oh, it's only minus 20 today, not minus 35 or 47. Cool, minus 20 is not nothing. Even if there's a little bit of wind and it's minus 20, you know, that's where it can start to get tricky. But minus 20 itself, not so bad. Even with a little bit of wind, not terrible. But, you know, once you're like up on the rig floor, like, you know, I work service rigs for sometimes, you know, pulling pipe at a hole and all that, you know, bop on, bop off, all that fun stuff. Freezing, working, you know, fingers feel like they're going to fall off, working on the oil rig, you know. Done it, man. Been there, props to those guys. I could never do it for a lifetime. I value my family time too much and also my sanity. Like, you know, being with the guys 12 to 16 hours a day on the regular on top of travel to and from site. You know, even if you're on an abandonment rig or, you know, you're doing whatever, thermal, whatever the case may be, it gets hectic and it's hard work, like day by day. Like your first month on a service rig, you're going to be sore every day. Like the first time you're pulling 4-inch pipe and you're there, you're the one laying it out. Oh, you're going to feel it, especially if you're the only forehand because somebody calls out, which happens regularly on the rigs. People call out all the time. Green hands, forehands, derricks, whatever the case may be. You know, some people just get sick of it, you know, and just say screw it for a day because, like, most service rig companies can't afford to lose their guys anyways, you know. It really depends on your area and stuff. But, yeah, anyways, really glad, you know, at the moment I don't have to deal with that nonsense, which is great. But, you know, I've debated, you know, the Brig's calling my name again in a way. I'm heavily debating on going back to it because, you know, they're starting guys at, like, almost $40 an hour pretty much, like $40 an hour, and you're doing over 10 hours a day. Do the math. You're making over $400 a day. You work 14 days straight. Say you're doing like a 21-3 or even 14-7, 14-14. You're making like 5, 6 grand, 7 grand, depending on your wage, of course, and what position you're on. You're probably taking home like at least 3.5, 4 grand after taxes, if not more. Like absolutely bananas. You definitely got to go to camp. If you're a young guy and you're single, don't let a woman hold you back. Even if you're in a relationship and you're young, it's probably not going to last anyway. I'm sorry to say it, but it's realistic. You got to focus on you, get your money up, not your funny up. You know what? That is real advice right there, and I strongly suggest you follow it as a young lad. Oh, anyway, sorry the conversations are all over the road today. You know, I'm going back and forth, like, doing these, and then, like, doing chores and stuff, you know? Like, some commentaries live, some's voiceover, you know? I liked it looked like Wilhelm was coming to give us a big hug there, did it not? The way he was flying through the air? He had his arms open. If we had a death trap, I bet we would have seen a robo hug right there. Not a doubt in my mind, you know? Spread the robot love, baby. But hey, I guess I should say Happy Easter, everybody, you know? If you celebrate it, great. If you're a Jehovah and you don't, well, you know what? Each to their own, but I disagree. And that's that. Anyways, moving forwards, don't limit your kids for no reason because there's no guarantee of the afterlife. Don't limit yourself in everything you do and everything and every day. Just saying, not my first choice to be basically culty controlled. Just saying. Just super saying. But anyways, Now we've defeated Wilhelm, so we get to continue with this the story and head back to Sanctuary here while Mr. Handsome Jack belittles us, which is alright, you know? I can handle being belittled, and that's okay. I can take some humor and understand the truth of things and understand, and that's okay, because I have emotional control and I'm not going to lash over the statements of somebody else because I'm a mature adult. Especially as an active churchgoer, I surely wouldn't lash out and immediately get very hateful when someone disagrees with me. That would be very awfully oxymoron of me, wouldn't it? Anyways, opinions aside, we're gonna turn this in and hear what these guys have to say. Also a quest to pick up. You know what? I'll take it. We might as well bang all these side quests out as we go along, you know? Just to get them out of the way. Completionist, right? On the way to self-sabotage. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. What a way to say it. My bad. Couple drinkities in and that will tend to happen. Anyways, you know, I find it so strange that I have so many different tones of voice. As a monotone and flat voice person, it's really a gift and a curse, you know? So I can be all uppity and happy, but then I'm just lying because, you know, I'm not that happy inside. Anyways, this is the end of this episode of Borderlands 2. I hope you've enjoyed my random banter today and all my random stories. And I apologize if you cannot take simple opinions. Not my problem. But anyways, I'm sure you're all fantastic individuals and live your life fantastically day by day. So thank you for joining me along the journey. I look forward to having you join me as we continue and make more progress. We are on chapter number 9, I believe it said. And I think there's only like 18 to 20 chapters in Borderlands 2. So hey, we're getting there, making good progress already. Maybe only a couple more episodes to go. And some DLC, which we're going to do very soon. Probably start with the Miss Moxie one with her Valentine's one. So see ya!